All right. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Hey, I know you can hear me. I'm just making sure they can hear me. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I always say that just to make sure because it shows that my mic is showing like feedback on this chart, but it doesn't always mean
Yeah,
it's working. So,
sure.
sorry about the delay. We had a few technical difficulties, but finally we got it figured out. So I'm gonna skip shoutouts because it's already kind of running late, and I'm just gonna basically start right into announcing the next guest. It's going to be on Sunday, and that is Doodoo from TLT. That's going to be Sunday the 29th at 9 p.m. Central Time. And today's guest is Mike TLT, as you all know. So just a quick little introduction from what I know about Mike, and then we'll just hop into it. He is the creator of TLT, has hosted the linetub.net, which eventually turned into Thug Live. Or is it Thug Live, right?
Yep.
Thug Live, okay. And then you were also part of the I Series tournaments. I don't know how many of those were you part of?
I think we had 4 of them. And the 5th one was coming soon it's still coming soon.
It's
So
still coming soon. All right.
yeah.
Well, that is my proper introduction. So thank you for doing this.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, by the way, we're going to see if we can quick work him. He is on webcam, so he's not playing, but if we can get a webcam of him, let's see. How do I
Yeah,
do
they were
this?
the technical difficulties we were having.
Yeah, I didn't set the scene up in advance, so yeah, that's I'm really good at this. I think I can get you though. There's got to be a way. Hold on. Let's see. There's got to be a way. So here is this, but it's not showing you. So why is it not showing you? Maybe I got to do this. Does that show you? No. Okay. There's got to be a way. Hold on. Let's see. Window capture. Is this not it? It's showing this. Video UI. Yeah, it should be showing you. Maybe if I full screen you, it'll work. Let's see. Where's this? Full screen. Boom. Is that work? Done. No, it's not showing you. Does anyone know how to show him if he's on webcam on Discord? Real quick, anybody? This would be cool to have on there. Because I have Discord and it says Mike discord.exe add Mike Discord. Black box, yeah, there should be a way. Maybe this? No. Mike, I'm trying to get you, man. Hold on.
It's alright.
Let's see.
I don't know if my video is coming through anyway. It's I've frozen on the screen I can see, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I see you, but I don't see.
Yeah.
Let's try. Come on, there's gotta be a way. This is gonna drive me nuts. This is what I get for having this be the first time I ever try this too. Maybe I could do. Okay, wait, I might have an idea. Nope, that did not work. Let me take this off. Everyone's like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
Sorry.
Yeah. We'll get this. Maybe it's not a video capture. It's not a media source. I don't think. No. Display capture. The only other way I can think of doing it is with a display capture, which is gonna be maybe questionable. Well, maybe not. If I can make this smaller and then throw you up here. Oh my God, Mike! I might have you. Man.
Oh wow!
There
we go.
I think I got you. Although it's going to be really trippy because I think it's still going to show my game. Let's do this.
Sorry, I had Twitch. No. I had Twitch going, so it was you're getting that double sound.
I think I got you. Although I don't know how I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna be able to play at the same time. So my guy is gonna be like kinda here, but kinda not. It's literally just gonna be full screen you. So
all right. Hello.
All right. So it's all Mike. Everybody just look at Mike. All right, cool. Well, finally, you got it figured out. So my guy's just going to be AFK doing whatever in this lobby, but that's fine. So I just want to start. We always start with like just generalized questions, and then we dig deeper into topics that
Sure.
everyone already knows. We're going to dig into like TLT and the hosting sites and the tournaments and all that stuff. So starting off with, when did you first start playing THPS and which game?
I don't know the year, but it was the year Tony Hawk 1 came out. I started playing on the Nintendo 64 with my cousin, and yeah, we were hooked pretty much straight away. So yeah, that was it. But I kind of took a hiatus from the game, got interested in other stuff, and then got back into it for Tony Hawk 3 when on the PC, and yeah, like experiencing online for the first time was like crack. So I was hooked ever since.
So THPS 3 was the first one online. Were you on dial-up or broadband?
Uh
If you can remember. I always throw this question just to see if people remember, and then like they can share their experience of how much it sucked balls if they played on dial-up.
it would have been surely it would have been broadband. But like my connection was really shitty anyway, just because I was from Australia. But yeah, pretty sure it
Ah,
was just shitty broadband.
you guys don't have
Shitty
good internet
Australian.
out there, or what? It's a little far away.
Um, well, yeah, well, that's the thing. And yeah, I think I had to get some sort of like Australians weren't able to get online officially, so I had to buy the adapter for the PS2 to get online. Um, but that was yeah, my dates are a bit mixed up, but that I think that was Tony Hawk 4. I got online on the PS2. But yeah, originally I was on online the Tony Hawk 3 on the PC.
On a PC.
Yeah, PC.
Oh wow.
I was on the keyboard. I got really good on the keyboard, and then I had to switch over to the controller for Tony Hawk 4.
What was the reason for that? Did it not come out at the same time, or?
Um, shit, you're testing my memory here.
Yeah, it was only like 20 years
um,
ago, so it's not like it's a big deal.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy, isn't it?
yeah.
Um, I don't. I think it was because I couldn't get online the PlayStation 2. It took me a while to figure that out. So, and plus, yeah, the Tony Hawk 3 was the first one I got after Tony Hawk 1, and that was on the PC. And I got that online, but yeah, I always wanted to play online with the PS2 guys because you know guys like Andy and Fake Shady and Draco or Draco or however you say it.
Right.
But yeah, with Tony Hawk 3, we were pretty lucky in that we had Capture the Flag, and that was just the funnest. That was just the funnest thing ever to play, and yeah, played that a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was your favorite Tony Hawk game, and what makes it your favorite?
Um, I like Tony Hawk 1, I think. Um, yeah, I've banged on about this to a few people, but I just think it was the scoring system worked. After Tony Hawk 1, I don't think it did. So we had to, as the games went on, we had to make up ways to compete with each other, and that was through tournaments. There's improv tournaments and things like that. But in Tony Hawk 1, you just didn't have to do that. You know, if you found a gap, that was worth lots of points, and it was about finding the most creative line. So I think Tony Hawk 1 worked the best, but like I had the most fun Tony Hawk 3 and 4. Just the whole online experience was just mental, and like you know, the first time you go online, it's just so exciting, and I think you're chasing like that excitement just continues on for years. You're just trying to relive kind of that excitement. So
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. That initial internet connecting video gamers was mind blowing. Like that was like I had this VHS back in the day of the
mm,
N64. You know that game Jet Force Gemini?
I don't.
You
I
don't.
don't.
Anyways,
Sorry.
well, and then there was a Donkey Kong game, but not to rant on, but there was this promo VHS, and I watched it, and they were talking about the future, and this is when PS1 and N64 were just a thing, and they're like, in the future, you're going to be able to play on the console with other players around the world. I'm like, no. And then like 4 years later, that happened. It was pretty unreal.
Yeah, and the first time you try it, it was just so incredibly fun, and that kind of became my life for probably until I quit Tony Hawk. I just got so embedded into the game. And I don't, life was kind of shit back then. So,
Oh,
yeah.
so it kind of helped in a way, I guess. Or
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I'm speaking to quite a few players. I think we've all kind of found solace in Tony Hawk at some stage.
yeah.
Um, yeah, for sure.
Cool. Do you have a favorite player or favorite players, and what makes them your favorite?
Yeah, I've had heaps of favorite players. But I guess my first favorite player was Andy. I was a big Andy fanboy. When I first saw his Tony Hawk 3 videos from, I forget the site, was it Planet Tony Hawk or something like that? I don't know if do you remember? There was a site where when like Tony Hawk 2 and 3 were big, I think it was called Planet Tony Hawk. So yeah, they had all the videos, like all the Tony Hawk 1 video. I remember seeing a Tony Hawk 2 video from Purple X, I think it was. He got yeah, I see the domain saying, yeah, Planet Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Andy was my favorite player originally. And then uh, Magic Summer came along. He's probably the best player I've seen play. Not that I actually saw him play much, but he's probably, if I was to judge who I thought was the best, I think Magic Summer. But obviously the game's changed now. It's like you have different conversations based on generations, I think. When I watch videos nowadays, I don't really recognize a lot of the stuff that goes on with all the glitching and the big airs and stuff like that. But for my time, yeah, Andy originally, and then Magic Summer was amazing. So I'd probably say them two. But then like later on, I had a bit of a crush on Vex for a little while with the clown shoes. When he came along, he was he was pretty cool. Gonzo was amazing. Kyle KSK, he was incredible.
Do you remember
And then
Gonzo's school video? Or not school video, the college video. I think it was
college,
Gonzo, yeah.
yeah,
With the
that,
46 and Tua Tool song?
yeah. When
Yeah.
that first came out, that was
Isn't
insane.
that
He was just doing
ridiculous?
stuff. He
Yeah.
was doing stuff. It's like, whoa, this is just crazy what he's able to do.
Yeah.
And he's probably the best improver I've seen. Just the way he moves through the level is just so free. It's insane what he does. Um, so yeah, and then later on, probably Alec. He's one of the best I've seen, and Mont as well comes to mind. There's not a lot of videos out there of Mont, but he was definitely one of the better ones I saw. So yeah, those guys come to mind.
Cool. Yeah, quite a
Santa,
few.
Santa, that's right, Santa goes. Yeah.
The Santa hat, yeah.
Yeah, there's that stupid video that one of the guys he sung over it. I think it was one of the improv tourney videos that Gonzo did, and someone sung over it singing Santa Goes. Um, yeah, that was it. It was Bum. That's right.
Nice.
That was hilarious. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool. Favorite trick
Oh,
or
I don't
style, I
know.
guess would probably be
I think it's the right trick at the right time.
for sure. Yeah.
If you do a trick too many times, it becomes predictable and boring.
But
But Andy always had a knack for doing the right trick at the right time.
so
And he
like
really pioneered that kind of way of playing. Sorry, what were you going to
I was gonna say like FS 540 grapple grab. I mean, you don't have a favorite? Come on, man.
say? uh,
Favorite few tricks for style.
all right.
That when you bust them
Um,
out like in the middle of a combo and you land on that grind, you're like, that was badass.
yeah, if you come to mind, the FS 540 is good. The wraparound can look pretty nice. The shifty, if used well, BS shifty. What else? I like a good tail slide. So spin halfway around and then land on the tail slide. That's always nice.
Yeah.
Just good habit to get if you can get it, and then your style just looks a lot better, I suppose. But yeah, I guess they're the ones that come to mind.
Cool. Favorite video, and then a favorite video series.
Oh, I don't.
You can name a couple
series.
favorite videos, but yeah, series. This is a tough one, the video series one. So if you don't think of many series, I guess it's hard to answer that. But just a couple favorite videos of yours.
Well, yeah, I can answer the series with the TLTVs. That's an easy one.
Okay.
But I don't really know of any others off the top of my head. I know a lot of people create them, but sorry, just got distracted. But yeah, favorite videos. KSK's Manhattan one comes to mind. That was kind of groundbreaking at the time. Gonzo's college one was great, and his school. You mentioned his school one, I think by accident, but he had a school one video which was amazing with the.
It was really good.
With that crazy song on it with the cut. That was really cool when that came out. Andy's videos, all of Andy's videos when like early on were just crazy for the time. He was like so far ahead of everyone else when he was really, really good. Magic Summers Alcatraz no manual. That was crazy. For a no manual video, that just I remember when he went across those pipes and crossed the water section. I was just like, damn, that's like, I'm so jealous of this video. It's so good. Because I was a bit of a no manualer back in the day. What else?
Was that your favorite no manual? Since we're talking about manuals, I'm just gonna throw this in there because it's a question that Alec had asked for me to ask you, and generally I ask these at the end, but we're already talking about it, so what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. That's the one that came to mind. I'm just trying to think of any others. Alaska Punk Skater was really good with the no manuals, but I definitely liked the impact that Magic Summers had was better. And that's the thing. Sometimes, like if you compared the no manuals now, like I think Alaska's Chicago one was better if you compare them, but for the impact at the time and like how far, in terms of pushing the boundaries, Magic Summers was really, really good. So yeah, I'd probably choose that one. Yeah, Magic Summers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cut you off a little bit. You have a couple more videos I think that you're gonna say if you still have that thought.
Yes. Yeah. I think I was saying all of Andy's stuff. Andy's LA high score in Tony Hawk 3 was crazy, as well as his Roswell video. Those videos back in the day were so good. Draco's Carnival #2 was really good. Somewhat because of the music. It's so memorable, the music in that, just along with the actual no manual. What else? Trying to think. Magic Summers round 1 in I1 was just so exciting. Like that had a big impact on me because like when we started that tournament, we didn't really know how it was going to go. But when I saw that video, like no one had seen Magic play before. And when I saw that video, I was so pumped. I'm like, this tournament is this works. This is really good. This is going to be something really cool. And just with that iconic music, what was it? My God, it's good to see you. It was so good. It just works so well. Putting I mean, it's now talking about it now. It seems, you put music on someone's video, but back then it was like kind of an idea. Like people would sign up, and we got people to choose the music they were going to put on, and then that just worked so good. I remember driving somewhere. Like I had to go somewhere, and I watched it before I went. And I remember driving somewhere and just like singing the song and just thinking about like how cool it was. But yeah, that was a big deal, that first tournament for sure. So that's That video, yeah, definitely that video was a big moment, I thought.
When you were driving around listening to this song, was it before or after that video was out?
No, I wasn't. I just had that song in my head after watching the
After
video.
watching it, yeah, okay, yep,
Yeah, yeah. It's so cool.
yeah. I do that now too. Sometimes I'll watch a video and I'm like, I gotta like YouTube the MP3 this, and then I'll listen to it in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
sure.
yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Favorite level and then favorites created park.
Uh, favorite level. Hmm. Sorry, I'm just thinking. Might just have to reel a few off. I don't have any that stand out. College was good in Tony Hawk 4.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago was good. Tony Hawk 3 had kind of shitty levels from what I remember, so nothing from Tony Hawk. Although LA was good from Tony Hawk 3, sorry. Tony Hawk 2 had School 2. That was a good one. What else? Let me think from Thug. I kind of got into Hawaii, but no, I probably wouldn't say that's one of my favorites. I think that's it. Yeah, Tony Hawk 4 definitely had some good levels. Yeah, and a couple from Tony Hawk 2. So yeah,
Yeah, so okay, fair enough. Not much
yeah,
from Thug and on, just those ones.
yeah,
Kind of sync with you.
yeah.
Yeah,
I thought the levels started to go bad as the
sure.
game went on. Yeah.
Um, what was your biggest achievement on THPS? Whether it's a clan, obviously you started TLT, or it was a website, or was it breaking a high score, or was it winning the tournament? Like, if you could say your crowning achievement, what would that be?
Today I would have to say the team, just by virtue of the fact that it's been around so long. It blows
Mm-hmm.
my mind that we, even though we're kind of AWOL in our little Discord server, but half the time, but the fact that the team's still kicking around, and I've made lifelong friends through the game, and so those friendships and the team, I think the fact that we're still together and still around, even though a lot of people have come and gone. Yeah, I'd have to say the team, I think.
Yeah, that's a good answer for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
This is really random. It should have been further up the list. Favorite game mode?
What's that? What do you mean? What's that
Like
mean?
King of the Hill, Capture the Flag. It just improv, I guess,
Oh,
could be a game mode, or Trick Attack, I suppose, because there's so much you could do with Trick Attack. But
yeah, yeah,
because I know you were kind of a King of the Hill for a while there too, so I'm just curious.
yeah, yeah. Well, King of the Hill is like it's kind of a yeah, it's kind of a big deal to be good. I remember Andy dominating that back in the day as well. He was like the King of the Hill king, and
No pun intended.
yeah, no. And then later on, it was players like I mean, I guess Devolution was a really great player. But yeah, I always prided, is that right? Prided myself on being a good COF player if I could. But I think the CTF on Tony Hawk 3 PC really stood out. That was just an amazing time. We would just every day, same time, just get on there and just play as many games of Airport CTF as possible, and it just didn't get old for like so long. And like even the Tony Hawk 3 players on the PS2, I think, were kind of jealous because they knew it was like I think the way we spoke about it and the amount we played it, they knew it was a pretty good thing, and so I'd have to say that.
Cool. We kind of
Yeah.
already answered this because we dived into like your initial impressions online. Um,
Mm.
were there any players when you just started on Tony Hawk 3 that were like super far ahead of you that you're like, holy crap, this guy's crazy? Other than Andy, I suppose. Was there anyone else that stuck out like right off the bat?
Oh, I probably don't even remember their names. I just remember thinking I was pretty good and then I went online for Tony Hawk 3 PC, and people were getting 20 million in LA, and I thought they must be cheating. I
Yeah.
thought for sure they were cheating. Couldn't believe it. But yeah, those guys I can't really remember. I can't remember the names, but later on, yeah, I guess it was when I saw the videos on Planet Tony Hawk and I saw Andy playing. Andy would be the standout for sure. And then I think Draco. I don't know. Do you say Draco or Draco? How do you guys?
I say Draco, but I have no idea if
Draco.
that's correct or not.
All right.
I'm not the one to ask. Yeah.
All right. Let's go with Draco.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had some videos on there as well of he was trying to do high score no manuals, and he had one in Rio, which was kind of cool. And then where else? I remember in the Rio one, he had System of a Down playing over the top, which is cool. But yeah, I guess those guys, because they were the only guys I saw. And then yeah, on Tony Hawk 3 PC, I don't think any of the players were up to par with the PS2 players, so I didn't really look up to any of the Tony Hawk 3 players from memory. I do remember Roger, actually. Roger was a really good player. He was on PC, Tony Hawk 3 PC. But yeah, just quickly, I think I forgot the Creator Park, my favorite Creator Park.
Oh yeah, we just skimmed right over that for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I guess Andy's one. I don't think it wasn't like, not to throw any shade, it wasn't as like a a special kind of park, but it was heaps of fun to play. So, and just playing games of Slap on there, I remember doing that on Tony Hawk 4, sorry. So I guess that one stands out. But I didn't like the Park of Dooms, man. Sorry.
No
They're all right.
All right.
They're all right, but you beat them and then that's it. So yeah.
Cool. So in between, like when Trick Attack kind of turned into like doing more improv, was there any certain part of the community that was like King of the Hillers, people playing graffiti, people playing Trick Attack, people playing some other game mode that predominantly became improvers? Like, was there a big shift between a certain group of people that were like, hey, we're going to improv, and then they turned out to be really, really good?
Yeah, yeah, there's a little movement at the end of Tony Hawk 3. I think probably led by Andy, but I was definitely on board, and I think Draco was kind of on board as well. And I think it was just becoming evident that you didn't have to be, well, I mean, you didn't have to be creative to be good, like to get a high score. And that was in Tony Hawk 1 you did. And that's kind of, I touched on that before.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're just going up and down and reverting, and it was like, this is not, you're not showcasing your skill the best you can by just going up and down or going around in Rio, or I forget what the levels were, where it was turned into whoring. What, Dodeman, third and army whore line is proof. Yeah, yes, I wrote an article about it. So yeah, there was definitely a movement end of Tony Hawk 3. I remember starting to create looking for no manuals on Tony Hawk 3, because the scoring was kind of got a bit boring, and that was inspired by Draco's no manuals, and that kind of went along with it as well, because obviously it just wasn't scoring. It was trying to be creative and come up with cool lines, and so I think like those kind of two waves came at a similar time, the no manuals and the improvs. But yeah, it's funny. It was the top scorers on Tony Hawk 3 that were, I think, were the first to kind of get over it and start pushing for style and creativity, and and Andy was probably responsible for a lot of that, just by the way he played. And I don't think there was any game mode that perpetuated that from the outset. It was I don't know what we started doing. I think, just trying to think how the improv came about. I think, it could have been Andy. Tony Hawk 4, he came up with a few videos. really early on, and he was just kind of styling. I think he had a few videos in college where he was just styling around, and they were really influential on players like myself and Draco and Magic Summer and things like that. And I see PTC just mentioned the shipyard line. I mean that, but even before that, before he created that, it was I think there was some early college videos, and that was just inspiring to the best players at the time. And I can't remember the next step after that. There was Andy's college videos, and I don't know how we got from there to the improv tourney. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't know.
That's fair. I know it's a weird pattern. So like at the end of Tony Hawk 3, all these really good horrors, they started doing the improv, right? Why is it that you think that like I started in like I don't know 2003, 4 or something like that on Tony Hawk 4, like Thug had come out a little bit before I started, but like I started doing trick attacks. Like I was going for horror lines. Like I was one of those people that build the levels and stuff like this. Why do you think that still existed even since there was such like a big shift? There was the shift to improv, just not big enough to reach the whole entire community because it just seems weird that it just didn't like get its head cut off right there, you know?
Yeah. I think just people not knowing, like the people pushing it or the forums, the community we had growing, which was mostly on TXO, which the website was, I think, THPSXonline.com. I think it was just ignorance, not in a bad way, but just ignorance from new players not knowing that there's a whole community out there. Just like me when I went online trying to high score and seeing people getting 20 million and thinking they were cheating. That I eventually found my way to that website, and I guess that should be mentioned how big of a deal that website was back in the day, and it really pushed us to try to want to become the best and have our name on that. I don't know if you remember, if you were around at the time, but THPS X Online, I think it was.
I think you're right.
Had it had a high score list and the top 5 players, and it had like a top 5 unconfirmed average score and then top 5 confirmed. And at the top of that list was Draco. Was it Red Circle? I think.
Full circle.
And Full Circle.
Full circle.
Right? Yeah. That's right. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Red Circle.
Well, it was close. You had the second part right.
There's another guy on there. It was like GS or something, GSX. I don't remember, but something like that. And Party Bear was like the highest score on PC. But yeah, sorry, I've kind of gone off track there. But that website was a big deal.
Yeah. It just makes you wonder, like if that became even more popular amongst new players, like somehow we had just converted these players sooner, that the community would have went even longer on that, like I think maybe even more improvers would still be around, if the numbers were greater. Yeah, just kind of unfortunate it didn't happen, but it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess it was a little, I mean, I'm not bitter anymore, but it would have been nice if, I guess, the game followed what we would, but it didn't matter to them. We'd kind of broken the scoring system. That was the thing, but you had to play it a lot to get there, and we were only, I guess, a small percentage of the people playing. So it would have been, in an ideal world, it would have been nice if, I guess, they adjusted the scoring system to cater to us, and that way we wouldn't need to kind of recruit these new players to start improving and stuff. But there are many talented, really good players just never come across our servers or our lobbies or whatever, and have no idea about what we were playing, or we were playing a different game to them, really.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the community was so big then too that it could sustain, I guess, having such segregation. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Cool. So let me see. I totally lost track
So I
myself.
just so I just said Todger, the old classic password. That's
It's
great.
still being used.
Yeah,
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 it's still
yeah.
being used. It's still very popular.
I don't know where that came from actually. I don't know who created that one.
Um, what? So, were there any tournaments on Tony Hawk 3? And then, were you a part of any of them? Like major tournaments? I don't know whether they're cash or just, I don't want to say quote fame unquote, but just some major tournament on Tony Hawk 3, and were you a part of it? I guess.
I think the first time it was 20 for the homies, but I think that was on Tony Hawk 4. I don't think I don't think there was one on Tony Hawk 3 that I can remember.
Yeah, I was trying to dig around and I couldn't see anything, so that I'm assuming
Yeah,
that's right, but yeah.
yeah, Doman's confirming. Yeah, 20 for the homies was on 4.
Cool. And then my next question was kind of already answered because you said improv came towards the end of the shelf life of Tony Hawk 3 leading into 4. So
Yeah,
that sounds
yeah,
about right. Um,
yeah. And yeah, definitely started picking up steam at the start of Tony Hawk 4.
cool. Do you recall any like the first initial clans back in the day on like 3 and 4, I guess, but mainly 3 because that's going like way back. But
Yeah,
some clans that lasted from like Tony Hawk 3 into 4, I guess, would be really cool if you can name any.
yeah. Obviously TXO, that's the big one. I don't really remember. Early on, I just somehow got involved in the whole TXO side of things, and it was it was clear that TXO was the team to join if you could. And I just don't really remember any of the others. I remember one guy created O2, clan called O2, but I don't know if that made it to Tony Hawk 4. There was the Fate clan, but I think they started in Tony Hawk 4. So no, I don't really oh, there was Jew. There was the Jew clan. I don't know if they started Tony Hawk 3 or not. Could have been because I think Alaska was on Tony Hawk 3 PC originally. So maybe Jew.
Yeah, I think that's
But
a definite possibility. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Someone's mentioning Spinks and Spork from Fate. That's
Yes.
right, those guys. Yeah,
You remember Pants in a Can?
good times. I remember the name, but not
Okay.
really. Yeah.
How about Bunker King? You remember Bunker King from Fate?
Yes, yes, yes. Wasn't he a fireman?
Wait, for his like creative skater or like in real
No,
life?
I think in real life, I think he was
Oh,
a Dode Man might.
I have no idea.
It was I don't know if I'm thinking the right person. Bunker King.
Yeah, He was a really good horror on Tony Hawk 4. Um,
I I think I think I've messed up there.
he had a really
Someone else
cool
I'm thinking
pirate
of.
cast. I think he was the one that started the pirate casts. He had like
Yeah,
the
right.
purple pirate cast. I was just
Yeah,
curious.
yeah.
Um,
No, I don't remember.
cool. So you were originally known as Waz, right? Or was there any other names you played as before Waz?
I think when I first went online, I was just Michael O2 or something because I don't know why. It was a random name. And then I might have after that gone to Was and then over to Mike around Tony Hawk 4, I think. Yeah, that's it.
You're not into names, apparently.
Apparently not. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
keep
creative.
it
Just
simple. Yeah, less to remember.
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had to shuffle these around some. So this is kind of actually starting to dive into TLT and the I series and the website. So when did you? Well, let's start with this. When did you join TXO? And can you name any clans that you were in before that?
No, TXO was the first one. Yeah, and I joined TXO probably mid Tony Hawk 3 or coming towards the end of Tony Hawk 3. Yeah, so just TXO. Was that the extent of your question? Just Who was my first clan?
Well, kind of, and then when you joined TXO, but then also, do you remember who the
Yeah.
other members were at that time?
Yeah. Milky was one of them, I think. Well, he might have joined in Turning Up 4. Benson, obviously. He created it, obviously. Uh, Andy wasn't in TXO, I don't think yet. Fake Shady might have been in. Draco might have been in. I can't really remember for sure. Who else? I think there's a guy called Sidetrack. He was like the first, like my first friend on Tony Hawk 3 PC. I think that was his name. It's so bad I don't remember. I don't remember a whole lot from right from the very start. Obviously Benson, Sidetracked. Yeah, I think that's all I really remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of a good transition then, because I1 and I2 were both Tony Hawk 4, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, what, from your perspective of things, can you kind of give us a breakdown on just any eventful things that happened? And I think someone had posted who won, but I don't think we ever confirmed on the podcast who won them for sure.
Okay,
So
I can
basically,
definitely.
yeah, just the lowdown. I know you had to have thought about this, so let's just have you take over from from the I1 and I2 and just any crazy things. We heard some stuff about you and Benson, and then you started TLT. So let's dig into it.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Yeah, I hear you got Benson not coming on in a couple of weeks, so that'll be fun. Be interesting to hear both of our takes.
Just don't give him your address.
Well, first of all, yeah, Magic Summer I won over
Okay.
Andy. I2 was won again by Magic Summer over Andy. I3 was won by, was it Gonzo? I think it was Gonzo over Vex. Pretty sure.
And was that on Tony Hawk 4 or was that Thug? I3.
I3 was Thug. Yeah, that was
Okay.
Thug.
Okay.
Yeah. I4 was on both Thug and Thug 2, I think. So we had 2 tournaments running at the same time. Gonzo was in both finals, I believe. Gonzo won. I think he won the Thug 2 over KSK. Is that? Someone want to correct me there? And Base lost to KSK in the Thug. Yeah, Gonzo versus Base. Yeah. So did Gonzo win the Sorry, I'm just talking to PTC
Yep.
on
Looks
in
like
the
things
chat.
are confirming here. Pretty good for you.
Yeah. So
You
they
nailed
were the
it.
winners. Yeah, I got it.
No big deal.
But yeah, so yeah, we want to get into the whole
Well,
the
before,
drama, I
yeah, I
suppose.
guess even before then, so I kind of heard KSK side of how you guys, like how it was judged, I guess.
Yeah.
How is, from your perspective, how was these runs judged? Like, how do you take into account style and improv and like risk and all of their stuff? Like, was there a scoring system that you had in place?
No scoring system. It was completely up to the judge and you're just trying to identify skill. So obviously we tried to choose the best judges we could, and yeah, it was just like, who do you think the best player is? But you obviously have to take into account performance. You can't just be like, well, this guy's the best player, but he had a shit run, but because I think he's the best, I'm going to vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of goes back to I won. Like I think that the best players back at that time, even though Magic Summer won, we all just watching Andy play, we all thought he was the best. We were all kind of following him, and he had the best run of the tournament in Chicago, which what was that, to Cypress Hill? Was it? the music. And that video was just insane. The barrel roll that he hit over the wire, I think it was, or something like that. Over the bridge, was it? Anyway, that was an insane video. But again, I've gone off track. What was I saying? Sorry.
Just how the scoring was based, or there wasn't really a scoring system, but you just kind of had people watch all the runs, and they just based on skill. That's how they judged it.
Yeah. And maybe in hindsight, we should have put some guidelines in place. But for the most part, it worked pretty well. Yeah.
You didn't have many people butthurt over it or anything.
Not really. Except I was pretty butthurt in I2. But
yeah, well, let's get into that now, because that leads into, because you created TLT after that tournament, right?
Yeah, that did kick that whole thing off. The
okay.
separation.
Yeah. So what happened with that?
Well, I guess it's good to mention that we created the Line Tub originally as the THPS X online website. So Benson was, he was obviously creating his site using a programming language called Cold Fusion, I think it is. And back then I was kind of learning how to code and stuff, and he was helping me. And I'd kind of done a little bit previously, so I had this idea to create the Line Tub, which was just showcasing different lines for scoring, basically. And that was started by myself and a guy called Dyslexic. So yeah, we had this website as a part of Benson's website, and we did a lot of work for that. And Diz. And sorry, yeah. Just got a bit lost. So yeah, we created that website, and then I got pissed off with the whole I2 situation. So
and what was the situation? Yeah. Sorry if you're
basically, yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm kind of stuttering through here. Basically, yeah, when you look back, like, there was a conflict from the outset, like me playing when I'm also running the tournament. That's kind of an issue. So, I was a bit naive. I should have avoided even the appearance of, I guess, cheating, because what I did was I changed the level in the final, which I was playing in, which in hindsight was so stupid. Like, it looked so bad, but at the time I didn't know. I guess I just didn't know any better, and I'm still a young kid back then. But what I'd started to notice is that people were starting to plan their runs. So people were releasing I2 practice videos before I2, and yes, we're all kids. And you could tell people were like trying to include sort of transfers into their runs. So it wasn't like completely planned line, but when they would come up to a certain point in a level, they're like, oh, I know I've got a really good transfer here. I'm just going to include that, and that'll impress. And so it was kind of a way to cheat and to get a good score for your improv run. When we all know the best improv is when, if you're coming up to an area and you've got a good transfer there, you want to try and hit a different one or a new one. That's the best improv. And so to try and counter what people were doing, I wanted to change the level up last second. But that looks so bad because if I'm in that final and I know the level ahead of time when no one else does, that's kind of shit. And so that's what created the drama. But yeah, I deliberately didn't play Chicago for months before I2 because of that, but it didn't really matter because no one knew that. How would people know that why would people trust blindly that I've done that? So people were really pissed off about that, and I was really pissed off about it because I knew how much work I'd put into running the tournament. You know, being from Australia, I had to pull some really late nights to try and get it done. As much as I loved it, because I worked so hard and I was, a young kid, I thought I deserved respect, I guess. And just looking back at that whole period, I was so hurt by that whole thing. It actually taught me a lot, personally. But yes, so that was what happened, and then Andy I ended up having a really good run in the final, and Andy judged me last, and I that really pissed me off because I thought he did it to be an asshole. Maybe he didn't. I don't know, but
because he knew that you had switched to level, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he thought that's bullshit that he knew the level ahead of time, so I'm punish him for his run. I don't know. I thought so at the time, and it really pissed me off because I knew that I didn't even get to play that level on. I play online for months leading up, and I always avoided that level. But people weren't to know that, so. I was really pissed off, and I wanted Benson to back me up. So stupid.
How far into the tournament was that?
That was the final. Yeah.
So it was the very last one. So it was you versus who?
So it was a 3-way final. It was myself, Magic Summer, and Fake Shady, and so. No, yeah, I think we had 4 or 5. I think 4 judges, and Andy was the only one to put me last. And I just thought at the time I just thought it was rubbish. There was no way I could be last. But
last out of the 3 rounds.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought that was an asshole move. But who knows?
Did that actually? So that made you place. What did you place then?
So I would have won if Andy didn't do that, basically. So because second. Andy did that, if he put me second or first, I would have won. Which I don't. I guess it's weird looking back at it. I think overall the right won, but for the wrong reasons, kind of thing. But yes, So there was a tie in the end because of the vote. It was between Magic Summer and I tied, and so we had a tiebreaker round in Alcatraz, and Magic Summer won that one. So that really cut me up. That did. It was so funny to say to talk about it like that. But yeah, that back then Tony Hawk was I put everything into that game, and that was everything to me. It sounds so dumb, but I was really hurt about the whole thing, and I'd obviously done heaps of work for the website, creating the Line Tub, creating the tournament, running 2 tournaments, and I wanted Benson to back me up, and I basically gave him an ultimatum, and he didn't really want to get involved, kind of thing. And sorry, I just saw Alexei change level. I don't know if he's saying I'm boring, but
no, it's I'm playing on Thug Pro and I'm just watching people. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it was. So yeah, Benson didn't want to choose anyone, so I was like, if you're not gonna scold Andy, basically, I'm gonna piss off and do my own thing. So it's crazy that I did that, looking back on it. But yeah, I guess I had some people come along with me. Milky, I remember back in the day, he was loyal, and we were able to get some key players across. But originally it was just, I think I sent you a screenshot of the original team. I think we had 9 players. Let me see if I can get it up here.
While you're doing that, so how soon after the Chicago runs did you have to do the Alcatraz run?
It was
the
like
same day or the following day, or
it felt like a couple days later. I'm not sure, but it felt like that. But yeah, I guess. I mean, it was a pretty dramatic time. I just remember the forums were just lots of arguing, and really divided. And for the most part, I think people sided with not me, which I think was correct. If you didn't know me, I think that was probably the right thing. But yeah, I just didn't get it back then. I just didn't get it. All I knew is that I tried so hard to do this thing for the community, and I worked so hard, and it really hurt to get such negative feedback. It really hurt me a lot. And so that's I guess what caused the whole separation, which was a big deal, and it worked out for us in the end. And TXO's still going, so
yeah, they're both still going.
Yeah, still going. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, give me a second. I'm going to change the level for these guys, and I'm going to switch who I'm spectating, because I've been spectating the same person the entire time. People are probably like, what the hell is going on here? Let's do something that I know everyone's going to like. Hawaii is like a default. If you put in Hawaii, you're like the coolest person ever.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Hawaii. Let's do spectate.
Myself included. That's all I play on Underground.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Which one am I supposed to pull up here? Here we go. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm making it work. Well, cool. So that sparked creating TLT. It was just you were pissed off, and you're like, I'm gonna start this team. It's crazy that many people were just like, hey. So you had to have some sort of respect built up, obviously. Otherwise, these people wouldn't have ever just came on board.
Yeah, I did, I guess.
I mean, some of them literally left like the best clan at that time to join yours.
I know, it's kind of crazy to think about. Because they were TXO was it. That was all there was. But I guess I'd started to create some really good things. Obviously, the improv tournament, I was taking that along with me, and that was such a successful, cool thing. The whole community was behind it, and that way of playing. That was a big deal to. The thing is, I was pushing a lot of this stuff, like the best things from the community. I was the one that was really pushing it through a website. By that time, Benson had kind of stopped playing, and I think that's what caused, I guess. I mean, I think it's safe to say at some stage, TLT was the leading clan on Thug. We surpassed TXO, and then obviously we created the linetub.com. And that's right. What we did bring across as well from pretty much the TXO forums was the Get There challenge. That was something I really wanted to feature. I thought it was a really good idea. I think one Caseman came up with that idea in the forum. You guys all know what the Get There is? Do I need to explain that?
Some people actually probably will have no idea. So you may as well kind of just say some of what it is. Yeah.
Sure. All right. So basically it started off in the TXO forums where this guy called One Case basically created a challenge. So you would start at a certain point and you had to get to another point. And I think to begin with, it was just with no manuals. So obviously he tried to make it as challenging as possible. And the first person to complete it and post the video would win it. And then the winner would get to create the next one. And so what we did, we took that and we built it into the first website we created apart from TXO. And that was the linetub.com, which is the dumbest name you could ever think of, but we loved it. It was that meant a lot to us. Because just quickly, just as an aside, we came up with that name. That was me and Dyslexic came up with it, and all we did was Google the search term line, and Line Tub came up. We had no idea what it meant, and we just thought it kind of sounded funny, so we just went with it. So this really weird, stupid name. I mean, it goes to show you the name isn't everything when you're trying to create something. Yes, but anyway, where was I? Yeah, so we took the Get There challenge, and we made a prominent feature on the website, and that was really successful. And so we were, it was like heaps of fun, because originally on TXO there was the leaderboards that everyone would try and get the top score and have the highest average. But then that obviously got phased out and no one really gave a shit. And then the Get There challenge, that was something you could really strive for, and you could get your name up on the front page of the website. And I wanted to, that's what we did. We wanted to really reward the best players properly, because you couldn't do that in game anymore. So that's what the Line Tub was. And that's what we were able to bring across from TXO, and that was a real point of difference for us. And yeah, people just flocked over there, and they loved to get their challenges. They loved, and they started joining. We had our own forums. They started. Before we knew it, we refined, we redesigned, we rebranded, and we had thuglive.com, and that was a special thing for a lot of people, that website. I didn't realize how special at the time, but the fondness that people speak about that website down the track, it was a really, really cool thing that we did there.
For sure. Is that something that was hard to code? Like how hard was that to implement? Because I gotta imagine if people are like uploading, like the whole coding process, that must have been. Is that something you did yourself entirely, or did you have help on that?
No, the coding was done entirely by a guy, CEO, I think. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it was CIO. Okay. Capital C, little I, capital O. He coded the whole thing. He obviously came across with me from TXO, and he was a really good coder. He's got probably some high-paying job now. I don't know what he's doing. He kind of fell off the face of the earth. I don't know where he is, but I'm sure he's successful. Yeah. So, but he did a great job, and I just collaborated with him. I did the design, and that was that. That was so much fun to run that website when I think about it.
Would it be anything you'd ever do again, or are you just totally totally done? Because the community is actually pretty. I mean, it's not what it was, but it seems to be slowly growing. But now it's so easy, because now you can just make a WordPress website and just everything is like right there. It's just crazy. Everything's just like drag and drop.
Yeah, shout out to PTC. We've definitely floated the idea. I'd love to do it. I just don't have the time. I'd love to work on a Tony Hawk website again, because I look back and think, that was something I was really good at, and I loved it. I'd love to do it again, but you grow up and you got bills to pay, and
right.
I wouldn't have the time, unfortunately.
Got it.
But just on that, we sorry, got a bit excited. This was, I think we started this site. It was around the time that YouTube came out, or maybe a little bit before. And when I think about it, it wasn't all that different from YouTube. Obviously, we weren't streaming videos on the site, but we were hosting all the videos, and I think that was a new idea as well, though. I forgot to mention. So we had the Get Theirs, but we also we had all the videos that you could post, and I think there's a list of hosts or people that had their own servers. So if you wanted to post a video, and obviously we had a little form that you'd post the video to, give it a title, a description, duration, and link, and all that stuff. And so Oh yeah, there was a Thug Life program that CEO created. That's right, and it would alert you when a new video. Yeah, that was cool as well.
That's crazy. Yeah, all sorts of things were working. I mean, that was a really cool website. I actually still remember it briefly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, for sure.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about regarding the website? I mean, is there anything else that you can think of off the top of your head? Because I mean, obviously it had forums, it had get theirs, it had video archives, it had lines. Didn't it even have tutorials, or was that something that wasn't on there? I thought it had some tutorials. I could be wrong.
Maybe. Let me look at that screenshot because it will have the. We got challenges, videos, forums. No, none of that. Info, online tournaments, challenges, videos, forums, web, team, profile. No, yeah, no tutorials, but we did have articles. So.
Maybe that's what I was. Yeah, articles.
Yeah.
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 For sure.
Yeah.
And then you ended up calling it good, and then it became TH Live, and that became under KSK, and who was with him? Blaz?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so obviously after we rebranded and went like Thug Live.
What
and
was the cause for the
then
rebrand? I guess shorter name, or
I don't know. I guess we just wanted something a bit more professional because initially it was just like a bit of a side project, a bit of a joke. But like obviously we cared about it. It was our passion. But then we thought I guess we'd gotten enough of a community and established enough that we thought it deserved a better name. Yeah, and we could really grab new players from online with a better name. You know, the Line Tub. You know, what is that? What does that mean? Whereas if we have a server that's called thuglive.com or whatever it was, that's a lot. It's a lot better. So I think that was part of it, and I'm guessing Sia was probably a little bit more behind that, but I was definitely. And we called it Thug Live, I think in part because we could keep the TLT. So and it was a cool name anyway. So then it became we could say we're the Line Tub or we the Thug Live team or Team Thug Live or whatever. So yeah, and then yeah. So sorry. So I guess you could say I quit the game, and
you
I
remember what
quit
year this
along.
was? Roughly.
Maybe 06, 07. Really not sure. It was after Thug 2, I think. Thug 2 came out. You know, I played it when it was first out and I enjoyed it, but it was the game was fading for me, and I didn't love, I guess, the direction the game was going in, and then Thor came out, and that was I think that was it. I just called it quits. So it was around the time Thor came out. CEO, the guy that ran the website with me, he was the same, and we never had advertising on the site except to advertise that i5 was coming soon, or I think KSK had a graphic on there, i4 coming soon or something. But other than that, we paid for this website, out of our own pockets, or or yeah. So we really, it was kind of our baby, and Sia and I didn't want to run it if we weren't passionate about it. So we wanted to end on a high, and we wanted to quit while it was ahead rather than just have it slowly die over time. So we thought we'd close it, and we did. And then I went away and did the whole life thing, and it was during that time that I think what was his name? God, I forget his name. The guy that created the thlive.net with Blaz. I forget his name. Starts with a T. No, there was another guy. No, it was started with a T. Tiaz, was it? I think that Tice. It was Tice. That's right. Yeah, I think he coded it. I don't remember what KSK's involvement was, but he definitely did stuff. He created a wiki at some stage. Yeah, I think they came to me and they said they want to recreate it, and I was totally fine with that. I was kind of chuffed. I was like, "Oh, you want to recreate it? That's really cool." And yeah, I'd be happy for you to do that. And so they had the get theirs on there, and they had some. I think they might have got to GT 300, get their three. So that's 300 challenges. I think they got to on the website, and there was always that long running leaderboard there on stage that show the person who had won the most times. So yeah, that's how that came about.
Got it.
Yeah.
So they just extracted the guts from the website and carried it over to the new domain, basically.
Yeah. So they did a redesign, and just took what they could, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fair. How long did that last until that changed? Because I know that's not around anymore either, is it? THLife.net.
No.
It's not a thing.
I wouldn't.
Someone told me the dates, and maybe it was even KSK on the podcast before, but I can't remember the date
Right.
now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'm not too sure. It's all a bit of a blur. The last 10, 15 years with the game, coming in and out of it. So I'm not too sure.
Yeah, are you current on anything? Like, do you look at anything? I mean, you're totally hands off at this point. You have been for a while, huh?
Yeah. I don't play any video game
Really?
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it took over my life. I didn't want to. I got to a certain age where I can't be. I'm at in my head it was like I'm at age I can't be playing video games to this level this much, and so I thought the right thing to do as an adult stop playing video games, which is kind of stupid because I know how many people play in their 20s and 30s now. But after quitting, I never went back to it. I bought a Nintendo Wii at some stage but that was more like I bought it to be like a bit of a casual thing, play with people when they came over or what have you. But no, I never wanted to get that involved in a game again. I don't know why I've avoided it so much. I don't know. It was so full on, I guess. So I don't know. Yeah, Dodeman's 47. He's still playing, so maybe I should reconsider.
Dodeman's the shit for sure. So you don't think you'll ever hop back and play some Thug Pro or anything like that? It's just you think it would just suck you in and you'd want to go all out again. Is that your fear? Like you just can't do it casually?
Yeah, I've definitely come back a couple different times, play and create some more videos. Like I've had a couple of bad breakups, and during those times when you're like really lonely, got no one. You got good old Tony Hawk there. Because I got rid of my console after I quit the first time, and then I got myself a girlfriend. Then we broke up a couple of years later, and then I was I was in a bad way, and I was like, oh, gotta go buy a PS2 to go play again, see what's going on. And so I did that. Played. I think that's when I created the Off the Walls, or not Off the Walls, Off the Floor. God, can't even remember my own video name. Off the Floors series. And yeah, so what was I saying? I'd love to play. I'd love to come on and play for a bit, and I'm not anti that. I just don't nowadays. I just don't have time. I'm just so busy with work, but I'd love to come on and play. If I ever get the chance, I'll definitely do that. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that Steve got me online for a couple of hours. But the other thing stopping me at the moment is that I'm on a Mac. I work on a Mac, so I don't I know people have got the game set up on the map, but
I think you
I've
gotta
struggled with it.
you got a dual boot, I think, to do it. So
Yeah,
it'd be each pain in the ass, and I know like that booting process takes a while. So there's someone in the client that I'm in right now, Blur, he dual boots, and it takes like 10 minutes to boot to Windows or something.
yeah, yeah. And I think I did get it going at stage, but the controller was like I couldn't press more than 4 buttons at the same time or something. It just drove. So I'd love to definitely get on and play again, but yeah, busy.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
What else we got? So, have you met any of the Tony Hawk players in real life? You
Yes.
ever kick it? Yeah, who was that and when?
I met Bad Ace. So I went to do some work in Canada. It's probably 20 years ago now, 15, 20 years ago. And from Canada, we flew over to New York for some trade show, and I knew Bad Ace was there. So yeah, reached out to him and caught up with him. Went to what was it, Brooklyn? I think he's in Brooklyn.
Wow.
If anyone wants to track him down, and yeah, went there, played some Thor with him and his friend, and that was pretty cool. That was definitely pretty cool. And so yeah, I've met Bad Ace. That was kind of scary, by the way, to catch the train home from Brooklyn to New York, or whatever it was. Kind of scary.
Yeah, how old were you
Yeah.
at that time? Do you remember?
I was probably about 20 something. Probably about 20.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was
Yeah.
younger. Yeah.
Yeah. And then and I've also I'm still best friends dyslexic. So we chat, every week or two. Or sometimes we'll have breaks of longer, but I mean, I'd consider him my best friend. So
But you met him in real
and
life, or?
yeah, I went and stayed with him for I think 2.5 weeks. I went and stayed with him in Chicago. That was probably about 6 years ago. So we went out, partied it up, and played some Tony Hawk. We did manage to get online TLT reunion. I remember Fate was there, and everyone kind of changed their name to be in line with dyslexic. So it was, I think, Fate renamed his handle to Fizz or something, Fizzlexic, something like that.
Right.
I got a picture of it somewhere, but so yeah, I've definitely met Joe. His name's Joe. I think that might be it though. Yep. See, Alec saying he remembers. Shout out to Alec, who's obviously left the team recently, but big love to Alec.
He left the team. Yeah, I'm on the same team as him.
Shit.
Hey yo.
Yeah, there you go.
Guy's crazy. He's really good.
Yeah,
I mean, he still plays, so he's been playing ever since basically you left, pretty consistently. So you can imagine how good he is.
Who are we talking about? Alec?
Alec, yeah.
Oh, I know. He's so good. He's so good.
Throw a blindfold over him, he can do anything.
Yeah. Made a video with him like a year or two ago. So I definitely know how good he is.
That recent?
Yeah.
Really? That recent?
Yeah.
What was it called?
Yeah.
Do you remember? It'd be cool for people to look it up because I don't remember it.
So, no, I don't remember the name. It was probably something silly like Alec versus Mike or something. I think Ghost might have been in it, or maybe not. I don't remember.
Very possible.
Yeah. So, what was I saying? I forget. Anyway, yeah, I think that's Sorry, that's. Oh, sorry. Favorite videos. Alec definitely had one of my favorite videos. Manhattan with the crazy music back in the day. That's definitely one of my faves. But I think that's. Sorry if I've forgotten anyone, but I think that's everyone I've met. Just the 2 people. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna be offended if you forgot over the course of 20-something years. You know, it happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. I want to kind of go back a little bit, since for some reason, I didn't structure this properly. So I have like arrows going up to these ones that I should have asked you sooner. So
Oh yeah,
my
go for
apologies.
it.
Um,
Oh, good.
but kind of going back to Tony Hawk 4 quick. So you
Mm.
liked Koth quite a bit. Were there any Kothers that stood out to you at that time other than Devolution?
I know Joe was very good, which is dyslexic. He was really good, but he didn't play a whole lot. But when he'd be online and he'd play in a full room with like myself and Andy and players like that, he would win. So he was really good. Andy obviously was really good. Just trying to think. I think that's all I remember. I think like that was back then. That was before like Devolution was probably the first Koth specialist.
Yeah.
So it was the best players at Koth were generally the best players. But now it's probably a little bit different. Probably got some specialists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Orb was very good. Orbital Shock. Shout out to him. I think he's tried to get me to chat in the NFA a few times. So I'm sorry I haven't done that, but yeah.
Yeah. So you think Dev was probably the best King of the Hiller at the time? Devolution.
He had the best moves. He wasn't the hardest player I had played, but like he would beat me, but I would beat him too. Yeah, dyslexic. I struggled to beat him. He was really good, and Andy as well was really good. So yeah, they're the names that stand out.
Yeah, cool. Since we're still on 4, do you recall any of the whoring scene? Did you ever follow the whoring scene? Because you were mainly improv, but did you know any really good horrors? Do you recall anyone who was like the first to bill and then the first to 2 bill? Nothing like that.
All I know is that Draco was the best horror at the start of the game. When the game first came out, he was killing the leaderboards, and then he stopped caring, and I stopped caring along with him. Like I didn't. That leaderboard got taken over by someone called Kaya's. But while Draco was around, he couldn't touch Draco. So, but then when Draco wasn't there, like it kind of tainted the whole leaderboard. You know, for the players, like the best players at the time, we just didn't care about that. But I do think Draco was the first to get a billion. I think he did that, and that's probably once he did that, he kind of moved on to other stuff like improv and no manuals.
Got
it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that a 2 bill would be legit? I mean, isn't that kind of crazy?
I'm sorry, I do not even care like about the number. I just by that time, like I was so past that point. I couldn't care less about even 1 billion. I remember thinking at the time, well, that's stupid.
Okay.
You know, like to me, it's just a balancing contest. You know, that's what the whoring became, and it's like I can balance for a long time. A lot of people can. You might as well just put yourself on a rail and see how long you can balance on it, and that's the whole point. Like, at least that makes me think of that the Alcatraz, the manual down the switchbacks. That was a pretty good challenge.
Yeah,
but that's a similar kind of thing. But at least that had some skill where you had to manual around in a curve. You know, at least that was kind of fun.
Now, to like a horror's defense, 360 the Indy 900, and you like do that like 10 times in a row. I mean, that's pretty crazy. And then the trick usage and getting all that stuff in line.
Yeah.
So there's some, but yeah, I mean, when you combine all the elements of horror, I think it's cool. But after a while, I mean, after you hit like a billion, like the billion to 2 billion's not a big deal, really. Unless you're doing it on a level like college or something. I mean, I don't foresee anyone actually getting 2 bill on a PlayStation 2 in college. You know, that'd be ridiculous. You remember that line, right?
Yeah. No.
It's a long there's a college line. Yeah, it's really long. It's a college trick attack war line.
No. I would never have learned it, I think.
Okay. Yes, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
You were just straight up improv and style, which is cool.
Yeah, we really, yeah, that core group of players that were, like Andy and Fake Shady and Draco, we all really kind of abandoned that whole thing pretty hardcore. So yeah,
Cool. That's
I,
actually,
yeah,
well, if you have nothing
sorry.
else to really add, that's what I have for right now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there's a couple questions that I want to throw in here that have been asked just by the community to ask you. So,
Let's do it. Yes.
so these ones are the ones that I wrote down, and then we'll do Q&A with the people that are in the chat. I actually don't have chat pulled up, so you can read the chat and answer the
I
questions.
can.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Cool.
right.
So, So your favorite no manual was actually, I think, already answered. This was Alex's question.
Yeah.
And just to reiterate that, you think it's that Alcatraz No Manual by Magic Summer?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. There wasn't many really amazing no manuals from Magic Summer was one of them. Alaska was another one of them. There have been a few down the track, but yeah, during my time, that were the ones that really stood out to me.
Cool. Do you have a favorite particular memory? This was asked by Alec and Ghost. Like, just if you went
Oh,
back, a favorite memory or a couple of memories that you can pull off.
yeah,
Maybe funny ones, just ones that hit you. I don't know.
yeah, for sure. I touched on the Magic Summer Alcatraz improv in I1. That was awesome. That was really exciting, and just the start of that tournament and having it work was just so exciting. So that was a really good memory. So yeah, I had so much fun running that tournament, and when Vex came along at the start of Thug, that was really exciting with the clown shoes and this whole wave of players wearing clown shoes. I got on board and I was wearing clown shoes. Everyone was. That was really fun. I don't know why. It was like just clown shoes just made
Clown
you
shoes.
look better for some, like your style improved with clown shoes. I don't know. It's so stupid. Uh, um, getting online Tony Hawk 4 for the first time. That was so exciting to me. I remember just being so excited and nervous to play with the PS2 people because I'd come from Tony Hawk 3 PC. So yeah, getting online Tony Hawk 4 for the first time, that was heaps of fun.
When you joined online on Tony Hawk 4, were like all the lobbies filled practically?
Probably.
I mean, do you
Probably.
remember ever having a problem? Like, I remember when I even started playing, like those first two lobbies. I think they're like Noobs 1 and Noobs 2, and then like when Pros 1 and 2 or whatever. I remember like sometimes all four of those would be pretty close to filled.
Yeah, I
So
mean
I
it's
just
such
think,
a big deal at that time around Tony Hawk 4 and Thug. But by that time I had the password. I had Todger, so
yeah,
I'd just find the server that our server and join there, and I think yeah, that was really fun. Other memories, just trying to think. Obviously, when when Tony Hawk 4 first came out, super exciting. And yeah, and getting online, like I said, and then when Thug first came out, and then the clown shoes, that was super exciting. So whenever a game would first come out, it was always really exciting. And yeah, CTF on Tony Hawk 3 was crazy. I guess you could landing some of the. I remember landing my the San Francisco no manual back in the day. I don't know if that was that. It's not. It's more relief when you land a no manual. It's not. You don't get super buzzed from it. It's just relief.
tell me about it.
I think that's it. That's all that comes to mind. Yeah.
When you played Tony Hawk 3, doing Capture the Flag, was there a lag? Was there a lag issue, or was it like you went through someone and that was it, you got that flag, or was there some question?
I was the lag king, so
Okay.
people would struggle to get me, and I'd struggle to get them. But For other guys, they had no trouble. I was always pretty laggy, and it was just because I think I was from Australia, and it made like Koth really hard to play as well. Yeah.
Cool. These other questions are just anonymous, so they didn't want to say. They didn't ask me to say, so I just won't do it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite created skater, like from a particular player or one of your own?
Ah. Yeah. I mean, Andy's sun hat. That was always the shit. Andy's sun hat. I still wear it today. Still got it on my CAS.
Was he one of the first ones to do that? A sun hat?
Oh yeah, that was
Okay.
iconic, Andy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was his thing.
He didn't jack that from someone that you know?
No.
Okay.
There was a few others, like Magic Summers. It's so funny. He debuted his leather jacket in iTunes, and then I think he wore, yeah, that's right, an Aqua Sun hat for the final, and it's so crazy. There's always like these moments in video. I remember I think he did a Samba flip over the Chicago Bridge with that sun hat, and he also did a shifty, no, not a shifty, a stale fish. So yeah, like he clearly changed one of his tricks to the stale fish. I'm pretty sure in that final, and he did like a stale fish with a late kick flip. I remember thinking, oh, that was so sick. That looks so cool.
Nice.
But yeah, Magic's leather jacket with the bunched cargos. That was a good one. And I think and Vex obviously when he had the clown shoes. That was a good one. So yeah, them three.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you played through all the single players? Like offline, have you played through them all? Starting from Tony Hawk 1 to like I guess up to Thaw. Did you play through the whole campaign thing on all of them?
Pretty sure I did. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know sometimes people they get online and they're like, I'm not playing that crap, you know. So
yeah, I think I might have done that after Thug 2. I might have done that, like when I tried out Thor. There might have been a game where I didn't, but I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did Tony Hawk 4. I went through that. Tony Hawk 3, obviously. Thug, I went through that with the whole New Jersey story thing. So yeah, I think I did.
cool. And this one kind of detracts a bit from THPS, but not really. I mean, was there any other game that you were playing during the Tony Hawk series that invested quite a bit of your time?
Poker. I think I played some poker with some of the guys.
Okay.
There was an IRC channel for TXO, and a few of the guys there played poker, and I got into poker around that time. So played some poker, but in terms of video games, I don't think there was anything other than Tony Hawk. Yeah, I know that's a bit weird. Like Tony Hawk was really the only game I was into. Like when I first playing Tony Hawk 1. After that, it was just all. I played games before that, like Mario 64. Sorry, PDC's asking about the SOCOM era. You weren't in the SOCOM era, like no, it's just totally uninterested in SOCOM, or I think they played CS as well, Counter Strike. Not interested.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. I think if anyone in the chat wants to ask him some questions, that would be cool. I think that's pretty much where I've gotten. We started so late that I kind of wanted to end it before 10 my time. Just the white.
Yeah, it's a bummer I didn't get to play while chatting, but
you know, I almost just called in someone. I was like, I might have a backup, and I was like, should we still do this? And we just decided.
Yeah.
But we actually might not even done this because he wanted to play, which is unfortunate. But maybe we can get you back on in the future and have you play this time, and it'd be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
See some of these old Koth moves that you got still in your head on Tony Hawk 4.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I didn't have any good Koth moves. It was Devolution had all the good ones.
Yeah.
PDC's asking where from. So that's just my last name with some wacky characters. So my last name is Warabek, which is spelled Worobec, and Wazabek is just a weird version of it. So that's where Wazabek came from. Any thoughts on why Soul players were so accelerated beyond THPS3 PC players? It was really hard to play on the keyboard. So I mean that held me back because there's only so many buttons you could press at any given time. But some people preferred the keyboard, and then obviously some people had the gamepad connected anyway. I think Tony Hawk 3 PC came after PS2 as well, which was probably a part of it. So PS2 players are always ahead. But it was really quite remarkable how I've mentioned Andy quite a few times, but it was remarkable how far ahead of everyone he was when he was, if that makes sense. Did you can't see the questions, can you? So you want me to just reel these?
I could turn it on. I just never really look at the chat. It's kind of funny. I just make sure that my mic is working in the beginning, but I should. Turn it on. But if you want to just keep rolling through them, that's cool with me. I'm just hanging. So.
All right.
I'm hanging. Listen to the answers, but I'm gonna pull it up with you here. So.
All right.
You got more, right?
Yeah. Any favorite GT? Yeah. Well, Encoded was really good at the start of the GTs. He had some good challenges. Yeah, GT98 from KSK won. I love that Carnival one where it was the shortest line win. That was the first of its type, I think. And I think it was either won by Flippy or created by Flippy. And that had like a heap of entries. It was crazy how short we got the line as a community, because there were a few times where it looked like it was solved, but someone was able to make it even shorter, and that was a really fun challenge. But in terms of GT entries, I remember that stand out. I don't really have too many. I do remember, I think Gonzo created one in Tampa Bay, and Jinzo solved it. It's not a great video, but it was a great challenge, and it was an awesome solution. And there was only one solution, I believe. I had some decent ones as well, which back fondly on. But yeah, if you can probably get a good idea from the GT 100 video. I listed a top 10 in there, which that wasn't my personal top 10, but I contributed to the top 10. So yeah, there was that. Just reading through these questions, all because I didn't give him the win because I cared too much about technicalities. I don't know what that means. Oh, in reference to GT98. Do I remember Iverson? Yes, I remember Iverson. That was hilarious. In Thug, his entry in Tampa was just hilarious. I think he had just stupid rap music over just floating over the entire level. That was so good. But he was so shit at the game. Sorry, Iverson. He struggled. If you had won I2, would TLT as a team have still eventually come to fruition? Oh,
that's a good question.
That's a great question. I've never thought of that. My first instinct is to say it would have. Yeah, just because I think there would have been conflict eventually. If it wasn't in I2, I think conflict would have arisen anyway. Because I think I was slowly growing, without to sound like make it too much of a big deal, but I was probably getting a little bit resentful, and I was just chasing. I really wanted to be the best player, and I was chasing that so hard. Yeah. So anyway, I again. So my answer is yes. I think it would have been created. We would have thought about something. I would have been disgruntled about something eventually. I think. When you say you increasingly didn't like THPS titles past Thug, was it because of the gameplay mechanics, level design, aesthetics, or something else entirely? It's just, yeah, as PTC mentioned, I wrote an article about it, which maybe we can post later, but it was just around the scoring system. It didn't make sense anymore, and I kind of got lost. Because the game was being pushed by just such a small percentage of players. But as I mentioned, we were breaking it, and the game never addressed the things we were breaking, and the game even started to break things itself in the effort to release new features, in the end make more money. So I think over time, money can just cause these sorts of problems, unfortunately, which is just an inevitable thing. But like the Wally shuffle. I mean, that really annoyed me that was in the game, because I was hoping that they would fix the issue with the scoring, because we'd been crying out about it for during Thug, and sorry, not during Thug, during Tony Hawk 4. We'd obviously shifted over to improv and no manuals and things like that, and I was hoping that they would do something to address the clear issue there was. The fact that the only way you can score high is to repeat something over and over and over and over again. And you don't have to be creative. You don't have to be clever. You just have to sit there and balance for a long time. And but yeah, when Thug came out and it was actually going in the other direction from what I could, obviously we had the double grinds, or what was it? The 5-0 overturn grind. Those double grinds reset your balance. That was obviously a glitch that wasn't meant. But what was the other thing I meant? Yeah, the Wally shuffle. I think that was, from memory, it was kept in deliberately. That just pissed me off. So while the game was going off track in that regard, we were trying to keep it on track by creating our own rules, and that's what Thug Life was, and TLT. It was our own scoring system. That's how I saw it, and that's why it was so important to feature, the top 10 get there's, and the no manual of the month, and it was important to me to recognize when players did really good things, and when someone when Gonzo would post a video, like when a video was posted that I thought was really good, I wanted to really throw a lot of praise on that person, because that was their only tool for getting recognition. There was no you couldn't score high. You had to get lots of replies on the Thug Life forum. That was your currency. That was how you knew you were good. So yeah. So I hope that answered it. Scoring. Yeah. Scoring, and the level design too kind of got kind of shit. It was, when rails would line up with each other, you'd be grinding a rail and it'd shoot you and you'd land perfectly on another rail. You wouldn't see any of that in Tony Hawk 1. You had to make the really cool transfer. But as the game went on, it wasn't like that. So you still there? Sorry, that was a big rant.
Yeah, I'm still here. Looks like there's no one else really posted any questions. So
yeah, who the fuck has it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Let's do just a final reach out. I mean, if anybody else has anything, if not, we'll get them back on. I want to do like a part 2 with it, like a lot of people that have been on, and that's just going to be a couple months from now or a few months from now. It just depends how many people I get on that are new, but.
Yeah, that'd be great, and maybe I can get set up so I can actually play.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, you said you still have your PS2. You just got to find your controller now.
Yeah, I was a mad rush to try and get it working, but PTC's just saying Andy said that the wall shuffle was found after the beta phase ended. So, yeah, apologies for getting that wrong. But yeah.
Oh, there you go. All right,
Just
well,
a
cool.
small correction. Yeah.
Yeah, we got that correction in before we ended, so that's good.
Yes.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for doing this. I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, and I know you're busy, so that's always always a plus to get you on. So
No, it was great. Great to reminisce.
yeah, it's always
And
fun.
it's so good that you got this stuff going, and it blows me away all the time. You know, we've still got these chat rooms, and we're still all hanging out. We got these people modding the game, and it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy, and it's growing. So if you ever come back, we're
Yeah.
here.
All right. Sounds
All
good.
right. Well, cool. Thanks
All
again.
right.
I'm gonna end it right here. So.